I recommend this is when we're listening, to listen with 3 ears. One is how can you implement what Brian is saying yourself in your business for yourself. The other one is how can you use what he's suggesting to help your clients. And then the third way is how can you actually help somebody within VBON to support them around this leadership. So I'm going to hand you over now to Brian.
Thank you very much, Fidelma, and thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for the opportunity, Alec. Brian Barry, I do business training, mostly in the areas of leadership, productivity, and communication. I also help others speak better, build confidence, and I am an event in MC. I recently joined an organization as an associate member called Leadership Management Ireland, which falls under an international umbrella of Leadership Management International based in Texas. My talk today, as Fidelma has explained, a little bit about leadership, understanding leadership. Confident, effective leaders are paramount to the success of peak performing organizations if they want to compete both locally and globally. Today's leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs must provide their workers, their employees, their teams with the knowledge and training they need to be successful. They must also ensure that their employees use the tools that they've been given to achieve these desired results. It's indeed interesting times lying ahead for everyone here in Ireland and around the world. You know, they say when America sneezes, the rest of us catch a cold. So with a new president comes new challenges. So we need to prepare for whatever eventualities in our changing world, our changing situation, possible economy. Who will succeed? Only businesses that have the necessary vision and direction, coupled with focus, skills, and stamina. These are the attributes that derive from good leadership. Who will lead your organization? Is it just you, or is there a succession plan? Will the success only depend on one person, or will leadership be shared across the organization to the extent that the entire organization becomes the leader itself? For any organization, it requires that their leadership be developed in every employee. It's the very foundation of the word leadership. Your title does not make you a leader. We often tend to think that what defines an effective leader? Is it just the badge? Is it that title behind your name? Dynamic leaders excel in people, skills, and the ability to create a motivational environment. They focus on their vision for their organization, clearly communicating defined goals to the people within that organization. They value their employees and customers and genuinely listen to them. Effective leaders are organized and focused and always keep to their commitments. And it starts with personal productivity. When you can look after your own productivity first, identify high payoff activities and setting priorities, not just in one or two, but in all areas of life, be it family, be it work, be it yourself, which then moves on to personal leadership. And personal leadership is where you make choices for success by overcoming past conditioning. Whatever you've been taught, whatever you've been drummed in, if it wasn't the right way, it's time to change. Enhance your self-confidence and presence and overcoming any self-limiting obstacles to leadership. Once you can master personal leadership, you can move on and start leading teams and become a motivational team leader. Focus on managing others, recognizing different behavioral styles within your team, and lead any change and innovation that is required. That could ultimately lead to a strategic organizational leader, where you are in charge of an organization, regardless of its size. You enhance others' leadership capabilities. You develop leadership organizational strategies and develop productive, and empowered teams. So what are the values and behaviors of a good leader? Here are a few words I've thrown out. I'll pick some of them randomly. The top one there, empathy, understanding what is going on in someone's world. Don't mistake empathy for sympathy. It's understanding what's going on, but it's putting whatever needs to come first. Communication, proper, effective communication. Do you take responsibility for ensuring that others have understood you? And do you take responsibility that you've understood? Having respect for others, for their capabilities, their abilities, and their time. Being self-aware. Self-awareness falls into that category of emotional intelligence. I'll touch on that shortly. It's something new still in the world of leadership and business. The word listening is quite big there. How often do we listen? Properly listening. Do we listen to understand, or are we just listening for a gap to speak, to put our view first, to say, no, let me tell you. Teamwork, being positive, and being aware of others, what they can and can't do, and helping them to grow, using positive language. No one really cares what you can't do. So focus on what you can do. Instead of saying, oh, I can't do this, but I can do it tomorrow. Well, just focus on the can. Being flexible, forgiving, and of course, integrity. These are but a few items, values and behaviors of good leaders. Different leadership styles are within the workplace. And here's a snapshot of about 13, but it's not exhaustive. And it's anything from transformational leadership, transactional leadership. Some of these may seem a bit old to you if you look at autocratic leadership, exercising complete control and authority over others without their input. What really stands out for me are two separate ones that are on the right-hand side, from situational, ethical, strategic, visionary, coaching, and distributed. The one I want to focus on is number 8, situational leadership, adapting to the changing needs and demands of the situation of others. I'm sure most of us will agree that that is key in today's world, to be able to adapt. People are different. They come with different thoughts, different backgrounds, especially in an ever-changing island. No two people are the same. The old school homogeneous Irish society is slowly but surely changing. Well, I say slowly, it's actually fast changing. I often go to organizations where there's 10 people in the room and there's only but 1 or 2 Irish people. There's so much diversity. So the situational leadership is key. And number 13, distributed leadership, sharing the power. Leaders that know how to focus on the future don't hold on to power. They distribute it. The best thing any manager can do is to work themselves out of a job, because that's the only way you'll be able to move on. Having responsibility and accountability and sharing those with your team, letting them grow, putting them in charge, seeing them become better. Those are 2 of the 13 that stand out there for me, which I feel are key in today's leadership environment. And I mentioned self-awareness, which takes us to this thing called emotional intelligence. As I mentioned, it's possibly one of the newest leadership elements that is available to read up on and study on. Less than 20 years old, and that is very young in the world of leadership and work. What does emotional intelligence mean? Well, I'll sum it up for you in 3 easy points. It's first and foremost identifying, understanding, and most importantly, managing your own emotions constructively. Understanding why you feel a certain way, whether it's happiness, sadness, aggression, understanding it and managing it to the situation and circumstances. Then being able to recognize and interpret others' emotional states to the best of the organization's use and ability. And then connecting, engaging, so that others would want to collaborate with you. Emotional intelligence, also known as EQ, the emotional quotient. You may have the IQ, but without the EQ, you won't go far. Leadership is in the middle of everything we do. Anyone is a leader. It doesn't mean you need a title. Teamwork, collaboration, guidance, coaching others on any level, sharing mentoring and being mentored, being open to learn from others, even if you're a step or a level above them, motivating others, being motivated ourselves, asking for support when I need them and having support, giving support, and of course, giving respect. Those are some leadership attributes and understanding leadership. I trust you've taken one or two things that'll help you. Thank you very much. My name is Brian Barry, and I look forward to working with you in the future.